What up, y'all? We're back in the whip. Hey, in this video, we're talking about how quickly you can see success in digital closing. Nick, our sales manager, got him here with me. You know who it is. You know how we move. We're on the way to Chipotle to get some burritos.
Classic.
But what would you say is the answer to the question? How quickly you can see success with digital closing?
I think it depends on three main things. It's going to be your skill level, it's going to be the position, the offer you're on, and then it's going to be your willingness to put in work to be consistent and get better.
Okay, so let's break each of those down. And the first one is your skill level.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are in a position where they simply aren't good enough. What would you say, if to someone who wants to see success fast, what would you say is the key thing to actually acquire that skill set?
So with the skill, there's going to be a couple of things that are necessary. The first is going to be reps. So the biggest misconception I think I see is that people think that they can just practice and that gets them good enough. Typically that's not the case. So the first thing I would say is, to get the skill level, you need to just go do it. If you're already in a position, already closing, you're probably just not good enough because you just don't train after. So the skill on the backside of it is going to be actually having someone who can watch your replays, whether that's yourself, a friend, family, or a mentor or something.
Yeah, so how do you say you train? Because like you say, just go do it. But when you say train, what do you mean by train?
So you can train two ways. You can do role plays. With role plays, it's important to know how to role play successfully. So a lot of people, when they role play, they just like close the prospect on the role play. That's not the case. You're not going to close, half the people you talk to.
You're saying like easy, like you're just letting them like act like it's the easiest close ever.
Yeah, you need to take it serious, and like they need to give you real objections. And then whenever you say things, like if you don't say it correctly, they need to not close. They need to be comfortable telling you, hey, you didn't win today.
Yeah, I got you. Giving you some resistance.
Yeah. Then the second part of that is just live reps. So a lot of people take a long time to actually get into a spot and try. So just if you're just starting, just get in position. Like if you see someone on there, just get in position, DM someone you want to DM, and just say you can do it. Be confident about it, and just try it.
Yeah. So the skill is the first thing, and you got to get your skill up. You do it by drilling. Just to wrap this first point up, you do it by drilling. You do it by practicing, and you really do it by getting better. As we always say, you can read all the books on sales you want, but that is not going to make you good at sales. You actually have to get out there and do it. Were you going to add something to that?
No, that's about right.
All right. And so the second part is the opportunity, and I'll kind of start with this. Like, you could be the best salesperson in the entire world and be in the wrong opportunity and not make a dime. And you could be the worst salesperson in the world or beginner and be in a really good opportunity, what we like to call a level 10 earning opportunity. A lot of people make fun of that term, but you could be in a really good opportunity, not have any skill, and make a ton of money just because the opportunity is so great. And that's why it's so important to actually find a niche, an industry that you're passionate about that has the potential to actually make you, a lot of profit, a lot of money, and has a really high upside.
Yeah. I actually have something on that. It's kind of funny. I just hopped on a B2B offer last week. They were I was looking into like SDRs and like business development roles, stuff like that. And I actually hopped on with this company, and we wanted to do it. And this person
we're hiring SDRs, by the way. So
yeah,
we're hiring people that can create appointments from nothing. So if that's you, hit us up, drop a comment. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, so we're hiring SDRs, and so I'm looking into this process, and these people are going to do it for us. And the closer just didn't even try to close me on it. At the very end, he basically, like, I was like, if you send me this thing, like just an example what they sound like, so I can just see what they sound like before we give you $2,000 a month for perpetuity, just so we can see what they sound like, I'll do it. And he's like, okay, I'll just email it over to you. And at the end of that, he just like let me leave, didn't try to handle that at all, didn't show me anything, and then also he never emailed me the thing, so he just lost the close.
That's crazy. So yeah, that goes to opportunity a little bit, but like, you got to be in the right spot. You got to be a lot of us who have started online sales like have the skill and you're just not partnered up with the right people, and it's costing you. Or it could be the vice versa in Nick's case, where you have the right opportunity and you're not just doing the right things to make the sales. So and then the third one is, I think, Nick and I's favorite part, which was what you mentioned, is
Scaling
it up and getting better. And I'll start by just talking about LeBron James, Tom Brady, really the greatest people that any of us ever considered great at what they do, whether it be a sport or business. Elon Musk, they're always investing in themselves to get more knowledge, to get more, mentors, to take it to the next level. Even at the top of his game, LeBron James invested $1 million plus per year in his body. And the reason why is because he wanted to get closer to his potential. And I think sales is a lot like that. I know that sales is just like that. You don't do it one time and you're good at it. You are needing to continually practice.
Yeah. I actually have another example of that. We have a guy that went through our program. Some of you guys probably know him if you've been watching Jack's YouTube. He's doing really well. He made $9,000 in commission last week. The dude's 20 years old. And
results are not guaranteed.
Yeah. That's not just to give
not
you
typical. These are not typical.
Not typical. But just to give you an example,
but
on the same team as another guy, and he is not hitting KPI. So this is like his last week. And so the dude that's doing really well actually just called me today and asked me to hop on and help this person. And it's just kind of funny because the only difference between the 9K in a week and $0 in a week is one of them has trained for over a year every single day, if not every week. And then the other person never has trained. That's the only difference. And one of them does $9,000 a week and one of them makes $0.
100%. And I think the bigger question is, like, even if you could improve his close percentage to 5-10% over the course of a year, the guy who's not even hitting KPI, it's going to make a huge difference for the company and also for his own personal income. And so what would you say is the key? And I think we kind of touched on this in the sales drills and stuff earlier, but what would you say are the two key parts to scaling?
I would say watching game tape is really important, because whenever you watch something back, you don't even have to be, for example, even if it's not you, if it's someone like a friend or family member that watches it back, you don't have to be as good as the person doing it to watch game tape and realize something's like wrong. For example, we all watch sports, and you can watch the game and you're like, dude, why would you do that? Obviously this happened. But when you're in the moment, when you're in the game, you don't know.
100%.
Like, you can't see everything. You can't react accordingly every time. So watching game tape is one of the most important things.
Of yourself or other people too.
Yeah, right? Both. You want to watch good stuff. So you want to watch, if you're watching other people's stuff, you want to watch someone who's doing well to see what they're doing differently. And then you want to watch your good stuff too. So whenever, like, if you went through a week or two where you just closed everything, you want to go back and watch those calls too. You don't want to watch your bad ones to get better. You want to watch your bad ones to see what you're doing incorrectly and notice what you stopped doing in the past, I guess is the...
100%. What would be the next key thing you can do to scale? So you practice or watch the game film.
And then I would say to actually scale, teach people is probably a really good way to do it. Because once you start teaching people, it starts to get easier, because it kind of unlocks this next state of mind onto it. So that helps a ton. And then the other part of that is, like, with teaching people, is probably get a mentor or someone who's done the next thing that you've done that you want to do. Because once you get to a certain plateau, like, you have to have someone show you, or you have to figure it out on your own. So it can take a lot.
100%. I'll say this in addition. One of the things that most closers, I think, naturally overlook is stat tracking and keeping track of what they are doing, what their production is, how many calls they're making. Because 9 out of 10 times when you're not hitting the numbers that you want to hit, you could look at your stats and see why. You could reverse engineer your goals. If you want to, make $100K in a year, you could reverse engineer how many deals you need to close, how much commission you earn, and work backwards to figure out how much work you need to put in daily to actually achieve that result. And I think a lot of sales reps, in their, personality, is to be not very analytical and stat detailed, but when you put that in, there's really a pathway that you can see forward on how you can achieve your goals, and that's the key to scaling to me, on top of actually training, drilling, hiring mentors, and getting better.
Yeah, it's really important. The stats are massive. Every Friday we go over stats with the team, and you can just see exactly why someone succeeded or not.
Yeah, and along with stats comes with like setting targets, setting goals. A lot of closer slumps, a lot of sales slumps can be negated by looking at your stats, setting goals, and actually running it up. All right, that's it, y'all. That is how you can find success quickly. It's a different title than what we just talked about. What was the real title?
How fast can you make money?
How fast can you make money?
How fast can you get success?
How fast can you get success in online sales, digital closing? And it's really up to you. How good are your skills right now? If they're not good, we got to get them better. It may take a little bit of time. If the second part is, you take this one. What's the second one?
Finding a good offer. So one that fits you. So you can be bad, like the example I gave. You can be bad in a good offer and make money. Or you can be really good in a bad offer and make no money. So you want to be able to find good positions. If you don't know how to find good positions, you need to learn how to do it. It's a skill.
Yep, 100%. And then scaling up is all about getting the position a lot of people think is the end. But the truth is, it's just the beginning. And to actually see success, you're going to have to take that position and go from making a couple $100,000, almost like a side hustle, to treating it as like a full-time position where you're scaling it to your goals. And so, simple as that. Appreciate y'all watching. It's as quick as you want it to be, but it's also quick as how can you get through those 3 steps. Hope this helps. If you're thinking about getting into sales, if you're thinking about getting into digital closing, hit us up. In the description, we have a survey that you can fill out. And we can tell you more about our mentorship if you're interested in that. If not, we have an absolutely free group that we'll link below that you can join. And what it does is it helps you find partnerships. It helps you actually start taking those steps to succeeding in online sales. Appreciate it. The world is better when you're better. Let's go.